Hi, today is Friday, March 17th, 2017. It's the 5th day of the 3rd week of Lent, and this is A Swede Speaks. Inger Støjberg, the migration minister of Denmark, recently published a picture in social media where she is having cake. And this is making a lot of leftists angry, in Denmark and otherwise. Because she's having this cake with the number 50 on it to celebrate that she, as a migration minister, have been able to institute 50 tightening of the migration rules in Denmark. And this is different things, like that migrants get less benefits than they used to get, and yeah, there are a lot of things, and we could talk about the specific tightenings, but that's not what I am thinking about right now. What I'm thinking about right now is 3 cheers for Denmark, and let's eat cake. Okay, I don't have a cake here, and by the way, I am abstaining from that right now, so this will be difficult, but the point is, Sweden should look to Denmark. Norway should look to Denmark. And Finland, you guys, should also seriously look to Denmark. Because, okay, I have criticized Denmark before, and I will again, about the case with the guy who burned the Quran, and who is now being investigated for blasphemy. Of course, I'm opposed to that, but in this case, they are doing something right. And Inger Støjberg is asked about this by a reporter, and she says that she does not want Swedish circumstances in Denmark. She does not want Denmark to turn into Sweden. And Denmark's had their problems too. So, I mean, of course they had their problems, but at least they're trying to deal with them. At least to a higher degree than Sweden does, and even to a higher degree than Norway does. Norway's trying too. I think the best part of Norwegian migration policies is that in Norway we got someone from the Progress Party as Minister for Migration. Danish parties are, compared to Swedish parties and compared to Norwegian parties, more conservative when it comes to, well, questions about values, value systems. Of course, they could be pretty socialist when it comes to economic policies, but when we talk about what's really important, what the libertarians forget, and what the socialists don't care about, or rather that the socialists want to overturn, is the value system. If we lose that, everything is gone. We can discuss tax rates all day long, and I want taxes to be lower, make no mistake about that. But if we don't have the Judeo-Christian Western values, we are gone. We are lost. Then we can just surrender and hand over the entire continent to the Muslims. And by the way, I saw somewhere, and I will provide links for that too, that Erdogan is now telling Turks in Europe to have at least 5 children. So the idea that Muslims are going to outbreed Europeans or outbreed non-Muslims, I mean, it doesn't really matter if the non-Muslims in Europe are ethnic Europeans or wherever they come from. The point here is that Erdogan and people like him wants Muslims to outbreed the non-Muslims in Europe. The other things we could discuss at some other point, and this is supposedly a conspiracy theory. Only nutjobs believe in this. Hey, Erdogan seems to believe it. He promotes it at least. And Gaddafi promoted it. Gaddafi said that Europe would be Islamized without a bullet. Without any bullets, without any real war, because non-Muslims would be outnumbered by Muslims because Muslims would breed them out. And seriously, if we don't do something, that's going to happen. But this is a small digression. Anyway, what Denmark is doing now is very good. And Inger Støjberg is one of the best politicians in the Nordic countries, together with her Norwegian colleague Sylvi Listhaug, and also one other thing. Ayaan Hirsi Ali recently went to Norway, to the parliament in Oslo, to talk about her ideas and also about her opposition to Islam and, well, her ideas. How do you think for one moment, because Sylvi Listhaug was there, the Norwegian migration minister, Inger Støjberg, I think that's how it's pronounced. I think I have a Danish friend who comments sometimes. He could maybe correct my pronunciation. She was there too. Would you even for a moment imagine that Ayaan Hirsi Ali would be allowed to speak to the Swedish parliament? Or the Finnish, sadly, not even there. So, thank you, Inger Støjberg. Thank you, Denmark. Now you just have to repeal that blasphemy law and you're going to be a very, very great country. Then Denmark will really be dejlig. And dejlig is Danish for, well, very good. And that's what I have to say about this right now. I would like to thank the people who are supporting this channel through prayers and through PayPal and through Patreon. Any support is greatly appreciated, and any prayers and any amount, big or small, is very appreciated, and maybe especially through Patreon, because $1 a month doesn't seem like much, does it? But if I could get a solid base of Patreon patrons for just $1 or $2 a month, that would help a lot. So I would like to encourage anyone who are able to and are willing to look into Patreon, and if you don't want to do that, look into my PayPal link, and prayers are actually even more important. But anyway, and if you like this channel, I've already talked a little about this now because I wanted to point to this. But if you like this channel also, please subscribe so you don't miss anything. And as you notice, I'm not only talking about Sweden, I'm also talking about Denmark. This sort of in relation to Sweden because I compare the Nordic countries to each other. So if you subscribe, you're not missing anything. And if you like my videos, please like them. And if you got something to say, feel free to comment. And please share my videos on social media, on Facebook and on Twitter and whatever. That's very, very good and very important. And yeah, that's about it. This is a Swede Speaks. Have a nice day.